Welcome to the Indiana Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so please be sure to sign up for more. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/Indiana. And now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters. And up first is Beloit College.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Yana, and I am an admissions counselor at Beloit College. But most importantly, I am a very proud alum of Beloit. I graduated just recently in May of 2020. So I'm here to share some awesome facts about Beloit, but also some great reasons why I chose Beloit a few years ago. So first things first, we are a very diverse student population. So we have some students all over the place from various socioeconomic backgrounds, racial backgrounds, and just completely different cultures. And because of that, we have a lot of diversity of thought, as you can imagine. So we have many popular majors. It's hard to choose just one for a lot of our students. So we also have many double majors because you want to take kind of a lot of classes in a lot of different subjects. But you know, having your interests kind of divided, your split, that is always a benefit. And it's working really, really well because we have around 93% of our students that are employed or in graduate school 6 months after graduation. So having lots of interest is always a plus here at Beloit. We have really done well in reimagining our advising and mentoring program because this is what Beloit does best. For one-on-one, we have small class sizes. We know our students extremely well, so we know how to help them form a career later on after Beloit. So the way we do that is our advanced mentoring program. Within 72 hours of depositing to Beloit, we commit to you as well by giving you an academic advisor within the first 72 hours. And that first year, you're going to have AMP classes where they kind of teach you how to do a resume, just a bunch of other workshop opportunities to build a network and kind of understand what a career could look like after Beloit. But also we have this awesome new program called our Career Channels, which is very similar, but more networking. You know, there's more programs, more panels, more events, more faculty members involved, helping you in all various channels to create a network. And again, thinking post-Beloit. And I included a little map here on the screen where it shows Beloit's location very close to Madison, Milwaukee, and Chicago, kind of within an hour and a half and an hour of all these cities, because we have amazing larger city opportunities for our students, even still being in a smaller city size. So we are very committed to having our students career ready post-Beloit through both of these opportunities. But also we're committed to you right away on campus when you come, because our campus is fully designed for you, a student. Mostly with our powerhouse, that's our new student union and recreation center. Everything inside was designed with student input. So we have a cafe, a new workout facility, some games in the basement, all the fun, but also a lot of study spaces and club spaces. So everything in there is catered towards your education and towards your fun, as well as our athletic teams with our 18 varsity teams. They're just built to amplify your education and your academics. But special interest houses, an awesome, brilliant downtown close to campus. Our student engagement and leadership office dedicated to giving leadership opportunities to our students, clubs and intramurals, and campus employment that actually matters, that are actually giving you experience towards your career later on. So everything on campus is designed for you to succeed, to have fun, and also consider planning your future after Beloit. So some things that have really set Beloit apart from some of the other colleges you're going to hear from today, or just in your search in general, is our reaction to COVID. This pandemic really shocked the world, but Beloit took that in stride, and we really did well with planning ahead. So we set up a Beloit Action Plan, which was recently renewed for this year, called the Beloit Action Plan 2.0, so check that out online. But it is a set of academic, personal, and financial support programs that the college is committing to help out our students. And the most important one is our Midwest flagship match for students in Indiana. We promise to match the flagship State University of Bloomington. And that is your tuition right away for Beloit. So you get that kind of larger state tuition price for the private liberal arts education that Beloit offers. But also our Beloit students were very involved in kind of creating the campus behavioral expectations for COVID. So anything that all the rules we follow were written by students. They rewrote our statement of culture. So it was very, very important to them. So if this sounds like you and you think you could be a brilliant Beloiter, as I hope you can be, consider applying to Beloit. Here's some of our admissions facts, but we are very holistic in our review process. So we look at more than just your transcript. We really read your essay well, we read your recommendations, and extracurricular activities. Those are really important. You know, if you're involved in a lot of things, we want to know that. We want to know how much commitment you give outside of your academics and still perform well. We like some great students. So if that is you, we really hope to see you soon, but here's my information right here. So please shoot me an email, quick text, or call me, and I would love to chat with you about Beloit and what makes Beloit so great. Thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you very much. Next up is Marquette University.
Hi, folks. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Jeanette Von Hayden. I am a Chicago-based regional admissions counselor for Marquette. So I live in the Chicago area, but I get the joy of working with students both from Illinois as well as Indiana, and I'm really excited to chat with you about everything that makes Marquette a great option for students. So on the screen, you're going to find some of those big important facts. Most importantly, I want to address is our campus size. So Marquette has just over 8,000 undergraduate students. So in the grand scheme of things, we are a perfectly medium-sized institution. This means you're going to have all of the benefits of a larger state school. You're going to have access to things like internships, undergraduate research, attending Division I athletic games, but you're going to have all of the benefits of a smaller school. So our average class size is right around 20 to 25 students. That faculty and student ratio is 14:1. So you really do get to know your faculty, your classmates, which is really important to us because that Marquette network is what's going to help prepare you in the future and what's going to help propel you into the future. We also do have a law school at Marquette, a dental school, as well as a full graduate school. So when you include all of our students, we have just over 11,000 students enrolled at the university. Now, these majors that students get to choose from are wide in range. So we have over 80 undergraduate majors for you to select. They are housed in 7 direct entry colleges. Direct entry at Marquette means that when you apply during your senior year of high school, you're actually going to select the major in the college that you want to start in, and we're going to review you and admit you for that college to get you started from day one. So if you're interested in engineering, we're going to start you in those engineering core courses. We're going to start you in maybe your health science courses or communication. Whatever field you want, we want to help get you on that 4-year graduation path right from the beginning. We also have a handful of accelerated degree programs. Accelerated degree programs are ways that you can achieve higher degrees, maybe your master's degree, maybe a doctorate. So we have a handful of those as well. Our most popular ones, of course, we've got an MBA program. We also recently launched a STEM MBA program. So if you're interested in engineering, but also want to get your MBA at some point, this is a 5-year program that allows you to do that through our College of Engineering and our College of Business. We also are known for our healthcare programs. So we have a direct entry College of Nursing for students. We've got a great physical therapy accelerated 5-year program. Or 6-year program, as well as a master's in athletic training and physician assistant studies. So really a lot for you to choose from when it comes to your academics. One of the things that sets our academics apart and Marquette apart is that we are a Jesuit university. So this means that Marquette is a private Catholic university. The Jesuits are an order of Catholic priests founded in this idea of access to education. So you will see Jesuit education kind of play out in 2 main ways on our campus. The first is in terms of our Marquette core courses. So in addition to the majors or the classes that you're going to take related to your major, we also are going to have you take 10 just 10 classes within our Marquette core related to theology, philosophy, to really help ground you in a liberal arts education. And what's so important about that is this critical thinking element. That's the #1 skill that employers are looking for. And the best way to do that is to expose you to a lot of different routes. The other thing that you'll see Jesuit education play out is in terms of service. Service is actually one of our pillars at Marquette, and each year our students complete over 500,000 hours of volunteer work. About 84% of our students are engaging in service of some capacity. So that is a really important part of who we are. You can do service through the classroom, you can do service through your study abroad, you can also do it through just regular organizations. One of the other fun things about Marquette is our location. City of Milwaukee is one of my favorite places in the world. There's just so much for our students to do, both on campus, but also in the surrounding community. Milwaukee is also home to 5 Fortune 500 companies. There are 7 Fortune 500 companies in the Milwaukee surrounding area as well. So there's a lot of those internship opportunities, and they really love to invest in our students because you're the future, you're the tomorrow, and they love getting to play on your ideas and learn from you. Other ways that you can get involved, of course, clubs and organizations. We have over 350 different clubs and organizations for you to get involved in. Everything from those service orgs that I talked about to professional organizations related to your major. But organizations are really important to help develop you as a well-rounded student. If all of this sounds familiar, I highly encourage you reach out to me. I am available via email, via phone. You can set up a virtual appointment with me because I'd love to talk to you a little bit about our admissions process. It is a rolling basis, so our application will open this summer for our junior students going into senior year. We do have an early deadline of December 1st, so I strongly encourage you apply by December 1st so we can get your decision by that date, and we can also get you your merit scholarship and start talking about your financial aid picture. But I hope to hear from you soon, and thanks for tuning in today.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next up is Northland College.
All right. Hi, y'all. I'm Tori, and I'm an admissions counselor at Northland College and an alumni. But let's get into it. So Northland was founded in 1892. The college is a community of about 600 students from 29 different states and a handful of different countries. We're located in the Swamigan Bay area of northern Wisconsin, a couple hours north of our friends. And we're about an hour from Duluth and about 40 minutes from the Apostle Island National Lakeshore. And we're right at the tip top of that orange arrow there. Northland's main campus is just over 100 acres in size, but our borders are really just the beginning. We're right between the city of Ashland and about 1 million acres of national forest. The city itself is vibrant with historic buildings, cozy restaurants, local craft and antique shops, a co-op, movie theater, walking and biking trails, a cute little skate park, and of course the harbor. And the city itself has a delightful character that's been shaped by just over a century of extraordinary history. We're also part of a proud tradition of liberal arts colleges, but we've got a bit of a twist. We focus a lot on sustainability and social justice, and this building here is Wheeler Hall, also my favorite building on campus. It was the first to be built back in 1892. Today it houses our humanities programs and courses. And speaking of which, ours span the arts and the sciences with notable Northland-specific programs like natural resources, outdoor education, sustainable community development, and more, with some brand new minors of sustainable agriculture, sports management, and climate change studies. We're also NCAA Division III for athletics with 14 different varsity sports, and about 38% of our student body participating with everything from basketball to soccer, lacrosse, hockey, and so much more. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm super excited to be able to get back out and hopefully get to see games in person soon. Northland's commitment to environmental education has been noticed around the US by some notable organizations. We were recognized as a cool school by Sierra Magazine in 2020. We're an EcoLeague member. We divested from fossil fuels back in 2017, and we are Wisconsin's first bee campus. Another defining characteristic of Northland is our strong sense of community with a ton of different clubs and organizations, 3 different student publications, a gear rental outpost. It's a great place to make friends and get a wonderful education at the same time. This is a sort of place where when you walk down these sidewalks, people will just say hi to you, even if you've never met them before. Our location also really underwrites everything that we do. Central to our sense of place is Lake Superior, which is just 10 blocks from campus. Lake Superior is the largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area, and at about 350 miles long, it's almost the size of North Carolina. It also creates its own weather patterns. And over the course of almost 130 years, Northland has developed a style of education that really thrives in this area, most notably by providing hands-on experience, whether it's out in the lab, in the fields, or in the community. And for example, our natural resource and biology and chem majors spend countless hours out in the field. Professor Michelle Small said it best when she said, "I love that Northland College is a school where you can know your students by their names, where you can do your job in depth, giving 100%, expecting the same in return, and reaping the rewards as you see real progress in your students' growth and development." She's been teaching at Northland for over 47 years now, and she still holds that same opinion. And let's talk applications. It's free to apply at Northland, and letters of recommendation aren't required, nor are essays. And if you haven't been able to take the ACT or SAT this year, it's totally okay. We're test optional. And review takes about 2 weeks for Northland. We also take the Common App, though our application on our website is recommended, but both are good. And let's talk scholarships and aid. The total cost for attendance for next year for Northland is about $49,000, though nobody pays that much. Our academic scholarships, which are awarded at the same time as your admission decision, are just start at $19,000 per year, and there's also no extra out-of-state fee for students. There are also merit-based scholarships, and be sure to send us your FAFSA to qualify for things like federal loans, grants, and more. And in the end, be sure to check out our social media for more of what students are up to right now. My favorite term, which is May term, 1 month consolidated, more experiential, typically course term, is right around the corner. And so that during that time, students do things like field ornithology, their circumnavigation of Lake Superior, pens and paddles up in the boundary water, and some more campus-based courses, which I'm super excited about. So be sure to check out the social media stuff and see kind of all that good stuff. And please please feel free to reach out with questions anytime. I'd love to connect with you more. And I will pass it back to our moderator, Matt.
Great, thanks so much. Next up is University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Hi, folks. Hope you all are doing well. Sharing my screen, hope you can see it. So my name is Nate Rosenberg, and I'm an admissions counselor with UW-Madison. Unlike some of my colleagues here, I'm unfortunately not an alum of the university, but I'm happy to be working for such a great institution. So just some numbers to get us started. UW was founded in 1848. We do like to acknowledge, though, that we're not the first folks who lived land that became Madison. There's over 12,000 years of human community in Madison, and University of Wisconsin-Madison, we're just the latest folks who call the place home. Most notably, we have the Ho-Chunk people. They lived here and they called this land Dejope, which means 4 lakes in the Ho-Chunk language. We have a lot of information about this on our website, and I definitely recommend that you do check it out, just to learn both about our shared past, but also our shared future with the Ho-Chunk people. Just some other numbers. We have over 30,000 undergraduate students, and our first year class is usually a little bit over 7,000 first years. We have over 120 countries represented by our students, and all 50 states are represented by our students. And even though we are a little bit of a larger university, we can see that with a 20-to-1 student to faculty ratio, your class sizes are still going to be pretty manageable. You're going to be able to get to know professors and get to know folks in your classes. So really, though, at the center of UW-Madison is this Wisconsin idea. And this is basically our guiding principle that the university should improve people's lives beyond the classroom. So this is going to span our teaching, our research, our outreach, and our public service. And just another way of thinking about it is that what happens in the classroom should stay in the classroom. As you can see, we're Peace Corps volunteers, which is a pretty good example of our students leaving campus and wanting to become global citizens. They want to get involved with the community, both the local, state, national, global community. Another great example of the Wisconsin idea is Mu Kappa Tau, which is our marketing club on campus. So they will actually provide guidance and assistance to small businesses in Madison. So they're taking the skills they're learning in the classroom and then applying them in this extracurricular content, which is pretty cool. As far as academics go at UW-Madison, We have 125 majors and over 70 certificates. Certificates are similar to minors in other campuses. And these are spread over our schools and colleges at UW-Madison. We do offer a couple of direct entry programs for our first year. So students who are applying to our College of Engineering and our School of Business can apply for direct entry to the schools and that school and college, starting so they can start their first year. But students are considered for UW-Madison as a whole to the university. So a student could apply to the School of Business, but they could end up coming in as a pre-business student or enter as an undecided student because we offer admission to university as a whole. The other side of finding your fit at a school is going to be finding your community. Getting to know people. That social fit is probably, in my opinion, is just as important as an academic fit. You want to find a place where you're going to be comfortable. We're going to find people who are both like-minded, maybe who will also challenge you. So you may find these people in one of our over 1,000 student organizations. These clubs range from the Badger Cheese Club to Jew-Op Acapella to the Madison Literary Journal. So definitely a lot of options right there. And we also have a lot of cultural communities, so it's identity-based organizations. We have a multicultural student center, a Black cultural center, a Hillel gender and sexuality campus center, just to name a few out of our many. And these are great ways, they host different panels and discussions, volunteer opportunities. And it can be a great way to find people who maybe have similar experiences to you, which is always a good thing. Arts and festivals are also very big on campus. I always like to talk about our theater productions because I think they are very varied and interesting. So we have shows range from Evil Dead the musical to Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. So very different shows right there, but all a lot of fun for our students to perform and other students to attend, staff members, faculty members to attend to. Greek life is also present on campus. Like a lot of institutions, it's there if students want to partake in it, but it's not something you have to do to have a social life on campus. Intramurals and sports clubs are also very big on campus. Those are student-run, play with the other UW students. Some of them may, compete at a more local, regional, or national level, but student-run. And they range from more traditional sports to also things like glow-in-the-dark volleyball. So a lot of options there. I feel like that's the main takeaway of what I'm going to say. There's lots of options at UW-Madison. And then finally, we have our Big Ten athletics. As you may know, we are part of the Big Ten. And so that's fun for students to participate in, obviously, as maybe a D1 athlete. It's also really cool for community members and students to also just go support the team. It's fun being there. Everyone's going to be wearing red, and they just show support for their classmates, which is pretty cool at the end of the day. So I'm just going to wrap up then by talking about our actual admission review. So like a lot of colleges and institutions, we do have a holistic admissions review. So it means that we're going to really take into consideration every aspect of your application. We don't have any formulas. We don't have any minimum GPAs. We're going to take a look at everything that you send us. So first and foremost, though, we do look at academic excellence, which is really just looking at, we're looking at that rigor. We're looking to see what you're taking. And then we also want to see that you're doing well. And we also look to see that involvement, whether that's babysitting for a family member, president of a club, we're going to look at that. And we're also going to be looking at your essays and your classes to kind of determine that campus and program fit. So I'm just going to wrap up then by showing you the screen to see where you can get some more information. Also feel free to type any questions into the chat and I'm happy to answer them. And I will pass it back to Matt.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Next up is Samford University.
Goodness. It's taking forever to load. Okay. Let's see if I can. I'm sorry, guys. This has never happened to me before. Okay. All right, I'm just going to share like this. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Elise Watford, and I am an admissions counselor for Samford University. Samford University was founded in 1841, and we are the 87th oldest institution in the country. And we are also a Christian community, and that's just prevalent in everything that we do, from the relationships that you build with your fellow students to the faculty members and the staff members that you meet on campus. We are, like I said, I like to think of Samford as a little big school. So our enrollment is about 5,700. We also have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And basically what that means is, this classroom sizes are going to be a lot smaller, but there's definitely some benefits in that, because you get that one-on-one, relationship and one-on-one direction with your professors. And one thing that I like to note about Stanford is that our professors and our faculty are invested in you, not just as a student, but as a person in whole. We also have a lot of diversity. So 70% of our students are from out of state. And that's just a really cool thing, because so many students are out of state. There aren't, Stanford isn't a suitcase school. And basically what that means is, students aren't running home every weekend. They're staying there, they're building relationships and immersing themselves in the culture. We do have 50 study abroad programs, and it's really very, very huge here. Unfortunately, this last semester, we didn't get to have those opportunities, of course, because of COVID. But next year, we're definitely looking at bringing that back, and that should be very successful. We also have 20 intramural sports and clubs teams. We are D1, so like I said, we do have those opportunities. But for students who want something with just a little, less pressure, we do have those sports clubs and teams that are also very competitive, but still fun to play. Going off that, like I said, we do have 17 Division I sports teams, but if you aren't into that, we do have 166 student organizations. So it's definitely something that you can explore and find what you're passionate about. We also have 14 Greek letter organizations. I myself had the privilege of being a part of one of those, and I was also a student athlete. So I definitely got to experience Samford through a couple of different lenses. And I thought that that was very beneficial to my experience as a whole. We also have 177 majors and minors and concentrations. So of course, not knowing what you want to do when you come into school is totally normal, but we do have that capacity and step where you can, just kind of explore and kind of figure out what you want to do. One of my favorite stats about our graduation rate is, so about 97% of our undergraduate alumni are employed or back in school within 6 months. So that was always a fun stat for me to say. And here is our admissions timeline. So August 1st is when our applications open and everything. And then on October 1st is kind of when we get the ball rolling on the very important steps. So that FAFSA becomes available for you guys. And then you can expect to see around early November admission notifications start to roll in. And then our December 1st deadline is our most important deadline, guys. That is when a lot of our scholarship opportunities become available and financial aid. So I really, really would express for you guys to really take advantage of that December 1st deadline. Also, we do have our February 15th deadline, and that is our FAFSA priority date and second scholarship deadline. So if something happens to where you do end up missing out on that December 1st deadline, we do have other opportunities that will be available. And then March is when you're kind of getting to the down stretch of things. Our orientation registration opens up, and then May 1st is our decision date. Going off of our process, we do like to look at things holistically. So here at Stanford, one of my favorite parts of reading applications would definitely be the essay, just because we look at grades and scores all the time. And while that's super important, here at Stanford, we do like to know who you are as a person and what kind of fit that you can provide with Stanford. As you can see, the official test scores had an asterisk by it because this application cycle, we allowed students to go test optional just to accommodate for the pandemic. We haven't decided if that option will be available next for the next application cycle. So I would definitely encourage you to go ahead and try to get that test, get those test scores so you can already have that under your belt and you won't have to worry about that. So yeah, and just to wrap things up, kind of our path forward and how well we've been doing with everything with the pandemic included. So about 86% of our fall courses were in person, just because we value that so much, and we did our due diligence to make Stanford as safe as possible. So this spring, there were a lot of classes in person, probably a good 90 to 95%, but for the next application cycle, we expect everything to be back to normal. Our events are back on and our classes are back in person. So thanks.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Next up is the University of Alabama.
All right, I think I'm running into the same screen sharing issue as my colleague before. Let's see here. I'm curious to how it was fixed. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Can y'all see that? I hope.
Yes, we
Are
can.
you able to see that? Okay, we'll go with this way. Weird. Okay, I as well have not had that issue in the past. So my name is Jennifer Potts, and I am a regional recruiter with the University of Alabama. Regional meaning I actually live in the area. I live in Fishers, Indiana, and I'm responsible for recruiting students from the state of Indiana to the University of Alabama. So Alabama, also known, of course, as UA, Bama, the capstone, and that school that says Roll Tide. So where are we? We're about 8 hours from Indianapolis, about 6 hours from Southern Indiana, and 10 hours from the region and Fort Wayne, or a quick flight to Birmingham, which is about a 45-minute drive from campus. So we're a little bit further south, so that gives us the benefits of a little bit better winter weather. This year we had a record-breaking 1/4 of an inch of snow, which shut the school down for about a day and a half. So a very different sort of way to handle weather. We are a small town with big college excitement. And you can see in these pictures on my awkward screen share that we have some great outdoor spaces around Tuscaloosa. We also have a downtown area full of kind of the shops and the restaurants. We are about a 38,000 total enrollment, but a fun fact about that is that 277 students on campus are from Indiana. So something I hear from students regularly is it's not as scary as they thought it was going to be because nobody knows anybody. So it's a really welcoming place to go to college. And this is just a snapshot of what our 2020 freshman class looks like. So you can see we have some really great students, but I'd also like to point out that this is not what we require for admission. So we typically like to see about a 3.0 GPA. We are still making decisions on what the fall applications are going to look like. So for example, we were test optional this year. So we'll still to be determined what will happen for fall of 2022 applicants. So stay tuned, we'll have those updates this summer, but we also are going Common App this summer. So we're excited about that. So you'll be able to apply on our website or on the Common application. A couple things I want to point out on this screen is that we were #1 in the SEC, but 2nd in the country for internship placement this year. So our academic programs, there's over 200 of them. We really pride ourselves in getting you some hands-on experience. We also have a large honors program with some really selective programs within our honors college and some cool opportunities, things like our STEM and Create Paths to the MBA, which gives our students the opportunity to get their MBA in 5 years. We are also a major research institution. So regardless of your major, you're going to have those opportunities to do research. And then of course, I love study abroad. So study abroad, we give you opportunities as short as 2 weeks, as long as a year, really anywhere around the world. almost took this one out because I'm long-winded, but I want to just make you aware that wherever you go to college, we want you to be successful. So this is not just an Alabama thing. We all have opportunities for you to be successful in the classroom and out of the classroom. So if you need tutoring or writing center or counseling or whatnot, reach out. We're here to help you succeed. We're cheering you on. We have a really vibrant campus life on campus. We have over 600 clubs and organizations. We have the largest Greek system in the country. I'm super proud on this screen that we log over 1 million hours of community service each year. Great food on campus. And of course, I can't pass up on the screen without mentioning our football. We won our 18th national championship this year, and that's a big part of our campus culture, and excited to get back to 100% capacity this fall. We have really awesome housing options on campus. 50% of our housing is suite style, where you don't actually share your bedroom, just your bathroom with one other student. But regardless, they're really nice and they all have air conditioning. Just going to quickly glance over scholarships. This is also part of what is still to be determined for the fall. So just know we'll have some updates to our scholarships website, usually around July, but we tend to award academic excellence with some scholarship money. And then of course, we would love to have you visit campus. We are open for both in-person opportunities as well as virtual opportunities. So you can check out our website, or certainly let me know if you're planning a visit to Tuscaloosa. We'd love to welcome you to campus. My contact information here, again, I recruit students from Indiana, so I'm your go-to person. So shoot me an email. We can schedule a time to meet virtually. And I just wish you the absolute best of luck with your college search and decision, and roll Tide.
Excellent, thank you. And thanks to all of our presenters. We now have some time for Q&A. And so I would invite all of our presenters to come back on camera and respond to this question. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And I'll ask our presenters to respond in the same order that they presented.
All right. Well, for Beloit, and I guess it would probably be common for everyone, I think the best advice I would give is to get on campus, visit schools, see what you can do. I know it's really hard right now with the pandemic to actually get a visit scheduled, but some campuses are open. It really is a different feel. It's hard to tell what a school's like virtually. So meet some students, meet people, meet some professors. Everything you can do on a campus is really important.
I'd say my biggest piece of advice is pay attention to deadlines. As much as we want to be flexible and want to help you in your process and understand this whole thing can seem overwhelming on the surface, those deadlines are really important because we do have systems and things that we need to follow on our own end. And so pay attention to those deadlines, reach out to us, and keep an Excel sheet or a to-do list to track everything for all your different schools.
Yeah, my advice would be to connect with students. So many different schools have like student ambassadors or work with current students. So ask us, we'd love to connect you with them, or faculty that you're interested in chatting with. If you want to talk to people from different programs, let us know. We'd love to help you with that and love to connect you with those people. So let us know.
Yeah, I think my advice would be to have a little bit of fun, to enjoy yourself. Obviously, keep track of deadlines, like Jeanette said, but take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. And sure, it's a big decision, but it's going to be a decision that you are going to make. So just enjoy it while it lasts. Have fun talking about yourself. Have fun bragging about yourself, and it'll all be okay.
Yeah, definitely. Piggybacking off of that, definitely with the fun aspect, but just taking your time and doing your research, having that numbers in the back of your mind, but also having the mentality of quality and what you want out of college, definitely driving one of your factors. And also keep in contact with your admission counselor, utilize them. It's definitely a great resource to have going on down the line, especially now that we're kind of in the home stretch and decisions and everything is kind of feeling frustrating, I know, but yeah, just definitely utilize your admission counselor and just take your time and research, and just have that confidence that you're going to end up at the school that you were meant to be at. So
all good advice. I'm going to go with the campus visit tip. So when you visit schools, of course, take our official and fancy campus tour. But I also recommend like having enough time where you can kind of relax and walk around on your own and maybe grab a cup of coffee and sit in the student union and like talk to people who aren't paid by the admissions office and ask them what they like about the school. And I think it gives you a really good perspective, as well as, you know, checking out the town and getting a good feel for what the whole community has to offer.
Great, thank you. So our next question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
Hard to choose just one. I think one of my favorite events, or more of a tradition, is our convocation day. So when it's the first day of class and all our first year students are invited into our chapel and they get the welcome from our president. But when they come out, I'm gonna, I guess, ruin the surprise, but a lot of our current students are waiting with flags and pom-poms and just cheering them, kind of their initiation after the first day of classes. So it's just a really exciting moment to see different organizations, a lot of Greek life present and different clubs welcoming you to campus.
I would say my favorite event is our Day of Giving. So I mentioned that service is really important at Marquette. And so the thing we do every fall is we cancel classes on one day, and all of our students have the opportunity to go out and do some sort of service in the community. Those community partnerships are really important to us. So those service opportunities are everything from working in nonprofits to donating time at soup kitchens, spending time with the daycare center children on our campus. So there's a ton of different opportunities for you to engage in that service. It's just kind of fun to step outside of your own comfort zone and give back to the community that is really helping your experience as well.
My favorite campus tradition is the Everybody Party. So there are two big bridges that run across campus through like the Ravine area. And so when first year students start on campus after orientation and all of that, they're welcome to cross one of our bridges up on a main campus with a huge Irish drum. It's a whole like very corny, goofy thing. But there's live music, local food, that kind of stuff on the other side. And then when you graduate, you go back across the other bridge as kind of a part of a circular journey. It's a whole thing. Love it so much.
My favorite tradition is, you may have seen it or heard it maybe, when at sports games they'll play Jump Around by House of Pain, and then everybody will get on their feet, they'll dance, they'll jump around. And it's just kind of a fun, goofy thing for everyone to do something together, which I enjoy.
My favorite tradition or event, it would be our Step Sing event that goes on in the spring. Basically, it's like this huge, I guess, talent show, so to speak. And a lot of our fraternities and sororities and a lot of, students who aren't in those groups join, join and kind of put on this whole skit, and it's super, super fun. And they pick a winner. It goes on for like 2 or 3 days, and they pick a winner at the end. But also classes during that week is pretty much non-existent, just because there's so many kids involved in that event. So that's always a fun thing.
I mean, how can I not say a Saturday, football Saturday at Bryant-Denny? You know, our stadium holds 101,000 people. So to cheer on the Crimson Tide with 101,000 fans is an experience like no other.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. That brings us to the end of this session. So I want to say thank you for joining us. When you close this window, a very quick 4-question survey will appear. We do appreciate your feedback. Please do sign up for additional sessions as part of this college fair. And as a reminder, a recording of this session will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/Indiana. So thank you all, and have a great rest of your day.